Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hello, and welcome to the stream. How is everyone doing today? I hope you're all doing well. I welcome you all to my first of two gameplay streams. Today is Monday, the 19th of July, 2021. I am DSP, and I am here to welcome you and to talk a little bit about a lot of good, positive stuff that's going on right now. Yeah, in fact, I'm feeling really positive and excited about the future right now. And I want to tell you about that because there's some special stuff happening today that, once again, I was not actually planning on today. But things have just aligned to work out in this particular manner. Alright, so there's going to be some special stuff on stream today. A special unboxing at some point. When exactly? I don't actually know. I don't actually know exactly when it's going to be. But I do know that it is coming. And I'm going to talk with all of you today about it. I'm going to let you all know what's going on today so you know what to expect. Okay. But today is also a full day of gaming. A very full and fun day of gaming. Okay. And I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited too for all the stuff I'm doing today. Alright. First of all, let's talk about what gaming stuff I'm doing today. Alright. Today on my first stream right now, it's the continuation of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. The Switch re-release that came out a few days ago. I've very much been enjoying it. It is much better than the original. The controls are so much better than the original game that the game just out of the box is a better experience. You're not fumbling around with these silly motion controls, the stupid Wii Motion Plus bullshit, trying to get it to work. It's actually working properly, and I'm not having much difficulty at all. Like, I remember when I originally played the game, I was kind of flubbing around trying to get the controls to work and figure them out. Admittedly, by the end of the game, I was much better at it, but this is just so much easier right now using a normal controller. If only the original game had actually been designed for a normal controller, but we all know Nintendo and its insanity always wants to do weird shit, right? But I'm very much enjoying the game, and I hope you guys are enjoying the playthrough so far. We're about 6 hours in. We've already beaten the entire first area, Farron Woods, and then the first dungeon. So today we're going to be heading into the second area. Although at first I'll be exploring around the town, Skyloft, to see if there's anything that I can do there side quest wise. I think there actually is. We're actually in the midst of walking around the town at night to see what's around. And catching bugs, because I just bought the bug net. So we're trying to do all of that. And we'll probably do a little bit more open world side questing. And then we'll probably head down to the second area. And that'll be the second, or the stream for today. Okay? Good stuff. Later tonight, on the late stream, it's the continuation of Mass Effect 3 Legendary Edition. That's at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Time. And that's going to be the conclusion of the Quarian plotline. There's only one major mission left with that. And then we're going to start the Citadel DLC. Reason being, there's not much left in the game. After the Quarian plotline, you head into the end game. I believe you take on Cerberus, and there's the big, attack on Earth and stuff that you have to do. So there are things to do left, but it's not an extensive amount left in the game. So if I'm going to do the Citadel DLC, which is the DLC where essentially there's a lot of social interactions between the characters. This was the DLC that was added a year after release for free as fan service because fans were so upset with the way that Mass Effect 3 ended that they wanted to make this as kind of like a love letter to the viewers, to the gamers and the fans who've been playing this franchise for so long and didn't feel like they got a resolution that they enjoyed at the end of Mass Effect 3. Okay? So, that's tonight's late stream. It's going to be the final Quarian mission and starting up that Citadel DLC. Alright? Good stuff all day long. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will reveal to you now what's going on behind the scenes. So you know what's going on. Because more positive stuff. As you guys know, last week, I was sent an Xbox Series X by a longtime viewer and fan who's basically said that they really wanted to help me out. And they basically had one saved up. For some odd reason, they had bought one last year, never used it. I guess they'd planned to give it to someone. That didn't work out, so they said they wanted to donate it to me. I thought at one point it was a troll, because 3 other people had actually said similar things to me in the last 2 months, so I didn't believe the person, but it was true. They actually sent me the Xbox Series X. I'm so grateful because, as you guys know, over the last week, I unboxed it, I hooked it up, we checked out Game Pass, which was really fun to do. It was a lot of good stuff that came out of it so far. Now, since then, it's pretty much been on hold because I'm trying to finish up Danganronpa V3 and Mass Effect 3, and once I beat those games, then we're going to be doing stuff that's Game Pass related on the Xbox Series X. Okay? But, here's the deal. Here's the big reveal. Okay? At the same time that all that was happening, there were already other viewers of mine who had been trying to get me an Xbox Series X ever since E3 this year. Because if you guys remember, E3 this year, the big press conference was Microsoft Bethesda. And it was revealed that the vast majority of major games coming out on that console was going to be under Game Pass, right? The Xbox Series X I'm speaking of. And at that point, if you remember, during my E3 coverage, I said, wow, I am now sold. I absolutely want an Xbox Series X. You're going to be able to get all these high-profile AAA releases at launch on the Xbox Series X with no investment of money, because if you're just a Game Pass member, you just get them. So it made a huge sense for people who are into gaming and who are content creators to have an Xbox Series X to be able to check out all these new releases coming out with no real risk involved, you see? So when I announced that I was really looking forward to getting an Xbox Series X, but I didn't know when I was going to be able to get one, I had multiple people who were longtime fans and viewers of mine who had reached out to me behind the scenes, and they were like, hey, Phil, we want to get you an Xbox Series X. We'll work on it, okay? Now, incidentally, after a month of that, they still hadn't had a chance to get one for me. You know, everyone knows how rare this thing is, and I outright told people, do not buy it from a scalper. I do not support scalping practices. I would not even accept an Xbox Series X sent to me from a scalper. That's unacceptable, all right? So, basically for a month, some people were trying to get me an Xbox Series X. It didn't work out. They couldn't get it. But then this guy who had one sitting around finally decided to send it to me, okay? And so that's how I got my Xbox Series X last week. Now, excuse me. Sorry. So, then, when the Xbox Series X arrived last week, as you guys know, I unboxed it, I hooked it up and everything. One of the people who behind the scenes who had been interested in getting me an Xbox Series X said, all right, well, you already got it, but I still want to help you out. Like, what else would help you when it comes to, you know, your streams and your setup right now? Because I really want to help you out, and I knew the Series X was the thing you wanted the most and would have helped you the most. So, I basically talked to this guy back and forth a little bit, and it was determined that he wanted to get me something that was going to help me with my streams. That he, you know, it would improve the quality of the streams. It would actually help out with a bunch of problems. Okay? And I told you guys this. This year, if I was going to upgrade my setup, there were a few things that were absolutely the first two things that would need to be upgraded. The chair that I'm sitting in right now, okay, which is a old piece of crap discount chair from a store called Bob's Discount Furniture in Connecticut that was bought for me in 2009 when I bought my condo. My parents got me this chair. It's an El Cheapo chair. It's not meant to be doing what I'm doing in it. It's not meant to be sitting in it all day long every day. It's not very comfortable. It doesn't have a lot of support. It's definitely a crappy, creaky chair. Okay? Or, the other thing that I literally on a daily basis have to struggle and wrestle with is my laptop. My laptop is a Samsung laptop from 2011. I purchased it in 2012 as a refurb from Best Buy at a discounted price, okay? It at first kind of served my purposes, but as soon as I moved out here in 2014, I realized this laptop was incredibly underpowered from what I thought I had purchased. I tried to do live streaming on this laptop just to show you guys, like, the new house when I moved here before all my equipment showed up. It couldn't even do it. It was lagging. It was a piece of garbage. And since then, the only thing that I've ever used this laptop for, ever, is to monitor my stream chat, to monitor your contributions during the stream, and to shout out contributions during the stream. That's all I use it for. So to give you a perfect example right now, on my laptop, all I have open right now is the stream chat from YouTube, a queue of contributions, tips coming in via Stream Elements, so I could shout out tips, and a queue of contributions from YouTube, meaning super chats and memberships. That's it. There's nothing else open on my laptop, and I kid you not, this laptop runs like molasses. It's incredibly slow. It constantly crashes and has errors, and then I have to reload. Sometimes reloading can take upwards of 5 minutes to reload a browser window. When I boot this laptop, okay? When I boot the laptop, let's just listen to this. You're going to love this one. A pop-up error message appears. The error message says, SW update file download util stops working. The problem has caused this program to stop working correctly. Windows will close the program and notify you if a solution is available. When I hit OK, the message goes away and immediately appears again and never goes away. There's no way to stop that message. It has been doing that for 5 years. 5 fucking years. I've had to put up with that. Now you may say, well, Phil, it sounds like your laptop is old. You bought it in 2012. Why not reformat the laptop? Why not just reinstall Windows and start from scratch? Oh, I'd love to do that. Except when I bought it, they didn't give me a Windows disk. So I have no Windows to reinstall on this. I literally can't do anything with it. I can't do anything unless I go, maybe if I take it to like a repair shop, right? And I pay them hundreds of dollars, they'd probably reformat the whole laptop or whatever. So I've just sat here with a crappy ass laptop that doesn't work, essentially. It literally is super fucking slow as shit. Okay? It's so bad. I am remarkably surprised this laptop has lasted as long as it has. I seriously can't even fathom that this laptop is still working on a daily basis because it has so many problems. In fact, the USB ports don't even work on it anymore. Because what I used to do, I used to have my PlayStation 4 controller plugged into the laptop, and that's how it would charge. It just stopped working one day. So I tried another USB port, and then that one stopped working. Then none of them worked. They're all fucked up. The whole laptop systematically has slowly fallen apart over the years. And it's basically barely on its last legs at this point. Okay? So anyway, knowing all this, I asked my fan, I said, please just buy me a chair. Who cares? Who needs a laptop? Just buy me a chair. And so today, a $700 chair is arriving. They call it the captain's chair. It has all kinds of functions. When you press this button, it actually squirts filtered water into your mouth. It actually has, like, vibration. So when I'm playing, you're going to see me vibrating. Oh, it's just so good. No, I'm just kidding. There's no $700 chair coming. I'm absolutely kidding. There's no $700 chair coming. No. Essentially, I said to this person, I said, thank you so much for offering. If you were to get me something, it would either be a chair or a new laptop. Those would be the two things, obviously, that would benefit me the most right now. And he said, all right, so what do you need the laptop for? And I explained. I said, literally all I need a laptop for is to monitor stream chat and to monitor my contributions during the streams. I don't care. I mean, a bonus would be like if I could send a tweet on the thing during a stream. I'm not even kidding you guys. I cannot send a tweet from my laptop. Right now, if I tried to load Twitter and send a tweet, it would crap out and not load properly. That's how bad this laptop is. If I'm going to tweet, I use my phone because the laptop is so bad. Okay? So I just told this to the viewer, the fan, and they bought me a laptop, and apparently it's coming today. Now, I don't actually know the specs of the laptop. I know they didn't go crazy. I told them, don't spend a lot of money on it. I said, do not go crazy and spend a lot of money on this thing. This is not something that I need a ton of, you know what I mean? I don't need a graphics card in this thing. I don't need a ton of memory. I just need it to basically do basic functions, okay? So to my knowledge, this person did not go crazy and break the bank buying me some high-end laptop. It's not going to be some high-end laptop or anything like that. It's going to basically be kind of a basic use laptop, and it's supposed to be delivered today. It's supposed to be delivered between right now and like 4 p.m. So there's a chance it could be delivered at any time during this first stream. Like, it could show up at any moment. Okay? So what I'm going to do is as follows. Okay? When it shows up, if I notice, because the thing is I'm in here streaming and I have soundproofing foam and stuff, and I might not even notice this thing showing up because I might not hear it. Now, my wife is home today. And I told her, I said, hey, if you hear anything, if the doorbell rings or if you hear anything on the front porch, likely the laptop is being delivered. So please bring it in and let me know. And what I want to do is do a live unboxing. In fact, this person who donated the laptop has requested that I do a live unboxing. And by the way, I know for a fact it's not a troll because this person ordered this laptop off of Amazon for me. Okay, so I know that it's a real laptop. This person did not buy me a, you know, a stinky dog turd and put it in a fucking shoebox and send it. It is a real laptop. Okay. So, when it shows up, I would love to do a live unboxing. The person said they would like me to do that, okay? Now, just like with the person who donated the Xbox Series X last week, this person has specifically requested I don't reveal any of their information because they're very afraid of being harassed online, getting doxxed, and getting, you know, having trolls come after them. All right, so I'm not going to say any information about the person who donated it. All I'm going to say is thank you in advance. I don't know what I'm getting later today, but thank you in advance for whatever it is. If this is, you know, seriously, if this is a low-end laptop, like if this laptop's $200-300, this is probably better than what I have right now because, like I said, my laptop right now barely functions. So I can't imagine that this thing would not be better than what I have right now. Okay, it's gonna be. But it'll be pretty cool to unbox it live, to show you guys what I got. Now, of course, it's going to have to be set up. I'm going to have to run it initially. You probably got to do your registration. You probably got to log in with Microsoft and everything through Windows and yada, yada. So I probably wouldn't be able to just get it working immediately. But if it does show up at some point during this first stream, then maybe I would be able to actually have it up and running by the late stream tonight and see how it works. I guess we'll see. You know, it depends on how long it's going to take to set up. Hopefully not too long. Yeah, so that will happen at some point today. When, I can't tell you. When it shows up, we'll figure it out. It could show up by the end of pre-stream, in which case we could do it before we even start with gameplay today. Or it might not show up till the end of the first stream, in which case, obviously, there's nothing we can do. We'll do it tonight on the late stream. Okay? Now, anything you hear other than what I just told you is bullshit. If some dumb fucks on the internet, once again, for the second week in a row, want to lie and say, oh, you see, Phil bought this laptop and he bought an Xbox Series X and he bought this and bought that. I didn't buy anything. All of the contributions you guys have been giving me go to what I tell you they go to. All of the contributions you've been giving me in the last week have gone to bills. In fact, as an update on that, all right, the good news now is that via your tips in the last week, I was able to pay the 2 utility bills. They should both be clearing today. But then tomorrow, I've got the back taxes bill. So I still need to raise some more today via tips and likely a little bit more tomorrow via tips to pay the back taxes. And then I'm in the clear because then on Wednesday I get paid by YouTube for last month's performance on YouTube. Some people seem to be confused about how this works. So I'll very quickly clarify how it works. When you guys contribute to my streams, you're directly funding my efforts to do this. Okay? If you become a channel member or you become, or if you do a super chat or a super sticker, okay, all those things are greatly appreciated. They directly help the stream. What happens is, when you do those things, they are saved up, okay, as like an ongoing contributions balance, all right? And what happens is at the very end of the month, so anything that you contribute right now in July, at the end of the month, YouTube adds it all up and says, here's what you earned for July. And then they pay me that on the 21st of the next month. So memberships and super chats all get pooled together, and then I get that 3 weeks into the next month. So everything you guys are contributing today via memberships and super chats, I'll get on the 21st of August. You see? But when you tip me, when you send me a live tip during the stream, that's something I get immediately to put towards something right now to help out. Okay? So all the tips that you guys send me in the last, week or two have been directly paying all the bills and stuff. Okay? So that's why in the last week I said, guys, if you want to contribute, please tip me because I'm trying to pay my bills, all right? And the good news is, like I said, utilities are paid. The next thing is the back taxes, and I have some of it, but not all of it, and that's why today I'm trying to raise tips, and tomorrow I'm trying to raise tips. If we could hit the tips goals for today's streams, that would be tremendous. It really would. If I could hit them both today, that would be outstanding, and I'd be basically in a very good position that I know everything will be fine for tomorrow, okay? But we have to do that. So, hold on one second. Okay. So, that being said, I appreciate all contributions. If you want to become a member to the channel, thank you very much. We're trying to hit a goal of 250 members by the end of July. If you do a super chat or super sticker, thank you very much. I will give you a shout out and thank you to the people who do that because that helps long term. But the best way to support the stream today would be to tip me, because I need to raise those funds to pay these back taxes that are due tomorrow, okay? So please, tip me today if you can. How can you tip me? If you look at the description of the stream, there's a link, or you can type !tip into the stream chat. Either way is the best way to contribute, and if you do, I will give you a shout out. I'll give you a nice positive response if you do that, because obviously I like to give shout outs every single person who contributes, and I appreciate that very much. We have goals and rewards in place for tips. If you raise $50 in tips today, I will put on my Gunner glasses. If you raise $100 in tips on this stream, I'll put on a vest of your choice. Now, yesterday, I wore platinum and I wore camo. So that means today's choices would be as follows: beige, red, blue, and denim. Those would be today's options for vests. And I'm actually wearing a black shirt today, so any of those would stand out. If we happen to raise $150 in tips, it's cowboy hat time. And of course, the goal's 200, and that would help me out the most if we did hit it, okay? It'd be great if we could hit it today. If we hit it on both streams, that'd be tremendous. That would basically say I'm good for tomorrow. I wouldn't even have to worry about what I raise tomorrow if we hit both tip goals today, okay? So, thank you in advance to anyone who does contribute in any way, shape, or form to today's stream. I appreciate that. But right now, I really need tips, so if you have a choice, I'm going to contribute this way or that way, please tip me. That's the way to go, and I need the help with that today, okay? Fair enough? Fair enough? Sound good? I hope that does sound good to you. Okay. Now I'm just trying to think, is there anything else that I want to talk about before we get to some gaming news today, and then before we get to shoutouts? Any other housekeeping stuff? Oh, you know what I should do? I should just briefly cover the schedule for the rest of the week. Just so you guys know what's going on for the rest of the week rather than just today. So today's streams, as I've already explained, are going to be Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD on the first stream. And tonight's late stream is going to be Mass Effect 3 Legendary Edition. Tomorrow, we swing back to Fallout New Vegas. I'm currently in the middle of the Dead Money DLC, and so we'll continue on with that DLC tomorrow. And then it's going to be more Danganronpa V3 as the late stream, and I'm really excited about this. Alright? I am really excited about this, and here's why. We are in the finale of Chapter 5. This has been the craziest class trial of any class trial I've ever done in Danganronpa. It's really, like, thrown me for a loop, kept me thinking, and it's kept me on the edge of my seat. And we're about to get the answers. Like, right now, we're at the cliffhanger where we're going to get all our answers. So I actually can't wait to play Danganronpa tomorrow night. Okay? Okay. And then, I'm off on Wednesday. Wednesday is my day off from streaming this week. When I return on Thursday, we're going to get back into the swing of things with more Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword and my weekly session of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War on the late stream. On Friday, it's going to be more Fallout New Vegas paired with my throwback session of Street Fighter that I do every Friday night. And then over the weekend, it'll be balancing between those two main games and then night streams of Danganronpa and Mass Effect 3, with the goal being that I will head into the end game of Danganronpa and near the end of the game, plus basically finish up Mass Effect 3. I don't know if I'll be able to beat it, but get very damn close. My goal is by very late July / early August, I finish both Mass Effect 3 and Danganronpa. That will give us about 2 weeks to mess around with stuff on the Xbox Game Pass, because I'll have free time until the new releases start coming out in August, which start around the middle of the month. So it will give us some time to work on that stuff. Okay? Sounds good? I hope that sounds good to you. Alrighty then. Good stuff, my friends. Okay, so let's talk gaming news. Okay? And then we will get to shoutouts. So, gaming news-wise, there's a couple things to talk about today. First of all, Psychonauts 2 has some interesting news, some good and some appearing to be bad. Okay? So, let's talk about that. So, first of all, Psychonauts 2. Game that's been in development for quite some time, right? Quite some time. And, you know, a lot of people wondering what's going on. A lot of people wondering, will the game be good? You know, Tim Schafer being involved in everything. Personally, I actually liked Psychonauts 1, but I played many, many years ago. I played the HD edition of the game. I believe it was on Xbox 360. It might have been PS3, but I think it was Xbox 360. So I really like playing it. The game's finally coming out next month. And the good news is, people who have had hands-on with this game earlier on are actually saying that it's good. They're saying this may be like a renaissance, kind of like for 3D platformers, because we haven't had many or any good ones recently. I mean, we just had Ratchet and Clank, and that was good, but it didn't really, in my opinion, revolutionize anything. What they're saying is, apparently this game does. Like, this game takes chances. This game has great writing, but also great gameplay elements, and it basically feels unique and original, okay? It's basically a really good game from what people who've played it already are saying. That's good. But I guess where the game is getting some flack is that apparently the game will not have a PlayStation 5 version at all. That apparently this game only is going to have a PS4 version, but on the Microsoft consoles. So we're talking Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Apparently if you get it on a Microsoft console and you play it on an Xbox Series X, it can run up to 4K resolution and increased frame rate. But when you play it on PS5, it gets no performance boost whatsoever. It plays exactly the same as the PS4 version. So people are already saying, like, what gives? Why is it that they obviously somehow went out of their way to make sure that the game would run better on the Microsoft console than on the PlayStation console? How is that fair when people will be playing exactly the same amount of money to get the game, but one person's going to get a better experience than a person who owns the rival console, okay? Now, I'll be honest with you guys. I feel lucky. I feel very, very lucky because I just got an Xbox Series X. So I'm going to be playing Psychonauts 2 under Game Pass, and that's going to allow me to play it at the best, you know, quality, apparently. Quite frankly, I will tell you, I completely disagree with the practice of having a game perform completely differently depending on what platform you're playing it on, as I've said many, many times over the years. Alright? If you're going to pay the same amount of money, you deserve to have the same game. Seriously. You deserve to have exactly the same experience as someone who paid the same amount of money as you. Why is it that if you buy a game on the Xbox console, or you compare that to the Microsoft console, and then you compare that to if you bought it on PC, oh, by the way, there's also a Switch version, and that is nothing like the other versions. It's a downgraded piece of shit, right? Why do they all cost the same? I gotta ask this question. Why do they all cost the same amount of money? Why is it that if this runs way better on Xbox Series X, okay, then it should cost a certain amount of money. And if you buy it on PlayStation and it runs worse, you should pay less. Right? I mean, am I right? And then, by the way, if you buy a crappy Switch port, it should cost even less. The cost of the game, directly what you're paying, should be equivalent to the experience you're going to get. Because if, let's say, for example, Doom Eternal, okay, running on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Switch. If all the experiences are equivalent, then sell it for $60 on every console. But if it's better on the higher-end console, charge more. If it's worse on a lower-end console like the Switch, only charge like $30. Don't charge everyone insane astronomical amounts of money for unequivalent experiences. So when this news story comes out today and says, oh, Psychonauts 2 is coming out for all these platforms, but it only is going to run at the best on Xbox Series X, that says to me everyone else should get a discount. Like, literally everyone else should get a discount. Right? Okay. So that being said, alright, what the fuck is going on in Stream Chat? Now I'm upset. I'm talking to you guys about gaming news, and I look down and people are talking about fucking furries and sexualization. What the fuck are you talking about? What is this? We got one person paying attention. Thank you, Zen Shuriken. I appreciate that. He's actually saying pertinent things. He says, lowering the price for PS5 and Switch versions would be seen as an admission of guilt, basically admitting the grift. Okay. So, how about this? Shut the fuck up about the bullshit. That's nothing to do with my fucking gaming stream. Press the reset button. I don't want to look down at my stream chat. People are talking sexualization and asexualization of furries. What the fuck are you talking about? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Holy shit. Okay, getting back on topic. So that's my feeling anyway. Now, I agree with Zen Shuriken. Because what he's saying is, well, if you paid less for the inferior versions, you'd be admitting to the grift. Yes, that would be called honesty. That would be called actually respecting your customer base and having it that your customer base respects you because they realize you're not ripping them off constantly. That's a major problem with business right now, is that these businesses are fucking ripping us off left and right and taking no responsibility for their actions. How many companies have fucking thumbstick drift, yet no one's fixing it, right? How many companies have these games released unfinished, right? I mean, really. Gamers get beat the fuck up all the time, right? When you buy a car, all right, think about this. Think about this. You go to buy a car, all right, and you spend $10,000. Okay, a car's way more than that these days. You spend $20,000 on a brand new car, all right? Your neighbor spends $20,000 on a brand new car. You both drive them home. Your neighbor's car is running beautifully, you know, always starts up, gets them where they need to go, fuel efficient, beautiful. You drive your car home, it's puckering, it's stalling, it's a jalopy, the wheels fall off, and the car explodes in the driveway, right? But you both paid $20,000, right? It's the same thing with games. Why don't we get equivalent experiences for what you pay? Why don't we have game companies actually caring about the customer enough to do the right thing? So the truth of the matter is, I don't actually care that Psychonauts 2 will run better on one console or another. Luckily, I am in a situation where I have the Xbox Series X, so I will be playing the superior version of the game. But I don't necessarily care that it runs better here or there. What I care about is that people are going to be ripped off. You're going to have people buying this on PlayStation 4 and 5, paying the same amount as people playing it on Xbox, and getting an inferior experience, and that ain't fair. Right? So that's my opinion. You could disagree. And you say, I disagree because the companies would have to admit their grift. Well, yeah. And they should. They should just fucking come out and be honest with the customer base. Maybe people would respect them more and actually spend more if you didn't think every time you spent money you're getting ripped off. Right? I'm just saying. Okay, that's one of the pieces of gaming news. The other piece of gaming news, ladies and gentlemen, comes out of Ubisoft. Uh-oh. Because let's face it, how many times do we talk about Ubisoft in a positive light these days? Like, uh-oh, here we go. So, the news out of Ubisoft is that they have a new game coming out. It's called Tom Clancy's X-Defiant. And you might say, what the fuck is that? Well, guess what? Ubisoft has decided to do exactly what it's done for the past 10 years. Copy everybody else way too late. Alright? So, I mean, we just covered the news that they've announced they're going to change Assassin's Creed into this live service model where Assassin's Creed Infinite is going to change over time and be updated to have different protagonists and different storylines, different different places in time where it takes place. And everyone groaned and said, we don't want that. We like how it is. Why are you changing it? Right? So now today, Ubisoft announces this new game, Tom Clancy's X-Defiant. What is it? It's a first-person, free-to-play, fast-paced arena shooter, combining intense gunplay with personalized loadouts and specialized factions as teams of gunfighters called Defiants. Essentially what it is, ladies and gentlemen, it's kind of like Overwatch, but not really. It's basically a team-based first-person shooter where you're going to be arena-based combat, which is basically exactly what Overwatch is. They're trying to make their version of Overwatch with a Tom Clancy twist to it. Only about, let's see, 5 years, 6 years too late? Like, if they were going to make this game and it came out maybe 3-4 years ago, I would have argued, oh, that sounds like a good idea, right? That sounds like something interesting, and, you know, no, this is like, guys, the Overwatch model has been done and done and done and done and done. Fuck, there's a fucking version of Overwatch. What's it called? It's on like the Switch. It's on mobile devices. I forget what it's called, but it's literally Overwatch, but not, because it's not from Activision. It's a knockoff Overwatch that's incredibly popular and made a ton of money. I can't remember what it's called, but my wife played it on the Switch. And the fact that that was been out like 4 years. Now in 2021, they're gonna fucking release this game. Like, what the fuck? I'm just kind of shaking my head like, what is going on with Ubisoft over there? Seriously, like, what are they doing? Like, what are they even thinking? We're gonna release a fucking Overwatch knockoff in 2021. You're a little late to the game. Hey, I got an idea. Why not release a zombie survival game? That sounds like something fresh and pertinent. Yeah, from like 11 years ago. But it's, I mean, this is how Ubisoft is thinking. They just jump from bandwagon to bandwagon to bandwagon. They don't do anything original. They just copy everybody else. They really do. And by the way, shout out to Shinobi602, he was the person who tweeted up about the game, and I wanted to give him credit because he posted up a pretty cumulative tweet about it, and that's where I got my information about this story this morning. So, okay, so all that being said, oh my God, you're right. Oh my God, Timbo Slice says, yeah, the new Rainbow Six game is zombies. Oh my God, he's right. I give up on these fuckers. I really do. I give up on Ubisoft. Is there one person working for that company that has an original thought? What the fuck, man? Anyway, so this game, X Defiance, because I'm sure you're all so monstrously sold on this game now. Apparently, it's going into testing on August 5th, so you're going to probably see beta codes going around and starting to get circulated around the internet. You're going to see content creators are suddenly going to start playing this game because they're going to get paid to do so. Okay? They are. They're going to get paid to do so. So you're going to see people playing the game out of the blue. Like, why are people playing this game I never heard of? Because they're being paid to. They're being shilled, right? They're becoming the shilled formula. And then eventually some of these beta codes will probably go out and you'll see more people playing it. I mean, if I can get into a beta and check it out, I'll give it a shot. I have zero hopes for this game. I mean, come on now. What the hell? But at the same time, if I'll give it a shot just for a random stream to see what the hell it actually is. Okay? Fair enough? Okay, guys. So that's really the news. Nothing else really going on in gaming news today. Let's get to some shout-outs. We'll start off with people who contributed via YouTube. And then we'll get to tips, although I don't think we have many or any tips to really shout out today. I don't know what happened. Excuse me. Oh, my God. Oh, I'm exploding here. I'm very sorry about that. That's absolutely disgusting. Wow, we had 3 people who became channel members this morning. Now, I'm not sure if these are new members or continuing memberships because, sadly, YouTube doesn't really tell you. So what I actually need to do is I need to go into my monetization tab and check on membership tally to see if we've gone up. So 196 plus 11 plus 10. So that would be 207. Yeah, we're at 217. Cool. We went up some memberships. So let me update the running total. We're up to 217 members right now. And climbing. In fact, 217 is the most we've ever had. Right now, we are at the record high members that I've ever had here on YouTube. Thank you guys for that. That is awesome. Okay? And growing. Because the thing, like, every day we seem to be increasing now. So thank you guys very much for that. So, shout-outs to Parasolo, Dissolute ZZA, and Cormier Gibson. All of which became channel members this morning. So we hit that new record. Thank you very, very much, guys, for that. I appreciate that. Now, I did get a troll super chat, which is already banned, so I'm not going to bother with that shit. But Philip Stafford did a super chat asking how much of the taxes we're trying to pay. Philip, the thing is, these are not active taxes. These are back taxes from years and years. I'd say it's about 3 years now that I was not able to fully pay my federal taxes due to financial hardship. And so I'm basically have a back taxes payment plan that I'm paying in order to catch up. And in particular, the payment plan is going up this year because more taxes have been added to it. Not too many, but it's basically, I'm not going to disclose personal financial data to you guys. Let me just say it's a lot of money each month. Because not only do I have to pay my normal taxes payment later this month after I get paid by YouTube, I have to pay this back taxes payment first on the 20th of every month. So, yeah, it's not pretty. I think that was it, Philip Stafford. I think that's how you spell it. Did I spell that right? I did. Okay. So, no, I'm not going to sit here and tell you specifically the taxes that I owe, my back tax payment and shit like that. That's ridiculous. Personal information. But I can tell you it's a lot. It's not like, oh, $100. It's a lot. Every month I have to pay this. So, that's why right now, all tips raised today and raised tomorrow are going to the back taxes payment. Please, guys, if we hit the tips goals today, it would be absolutely tremendous. It would help me out a ton with this back taxes payment. I wouldn't have... If we hit the tips goals today on both streams, I won't have to worry tomorrow about what I raised to finish up this back taxes payment. Let's put it that way. Okay? But this is in addition to what I've already raised earlier this week. So. Yes, Stiggy, I pay taxes every month. When you are self-employed, you pay taxes every month. When you're self-employed, you have to pay an estimate of tax every single month. And I owe back taxes, so I'm paying my back tax payment every month. And then every 3 months, I have to pay a state business and operations tax as well, because I have a business that operates out of the state of Washington, so that's a state deal. So yeah, every month I'm paying 2 giant tax payments, and then once every 3 months I pay another big tax payment to the state. So it's not pretty. It's a lot of money. Okay? Okay. Alright, so let's continue. Oh, that's it for the YouTube shoutouts. Let's get to tips then. We actually shoot over here. The first tip of the day was from Snow Carl. And he says, the reason we get disconnected during gaming news, it's the same news in Games Talk every day. We didn't talk about Psychonauts 2 at all before today. And we never talked about X Defiant before today either. So you're completely false in what you're saying right now in your statement. He continues on, maybe you can start thinking of other topics to talk about. Maybe 2 days a week we have food and gaming, and then 3 days news, cars, and politics. No. I will talk about the news of the day. Today we had 2 games to talk about. It has nothing whatsoever to do with anything else I've ever talked about. I don't know what you're talking about, Snowcall. You're completely wrong. Like, I don't even know how much more wrong you could be. How about what you just said? Wow. Okay. Rob Matthews is here today. Thank you. Rob, he tipped me $4.20. He says, I gave up after the Watch Dogs abomination. I do not blame you. Watch Dogs Legion, dude, was one of the worst sequels. I mean, they took 2 steps forward and 27 steps back with that game. I just don't know what they were thinking. Let's create a game where all the main characters are disposable. They all have generic backstories. If they die, it doesn't matter because you can instantly recruit the same character back again. They look different, but they're literally the same character. So what investment do I have in the game, right? What do I care if someone lives or dies? What do I care? Like, that was the dumbest idea in history. And I knew it when they announced it at E3. Originally, you're like, oh, this sounds like a good idea. And I was like, wait a minute. This is Ubisoft we're talking about. What if these characters end up being completely unspecial, disposable characters, right? And I was 100% correct. That's exactly what happened. It was bad. I mean, Watch Dogs 2 to Watch Dogs Legion. Watch Dogs 2 is such a good game. Good writing, unique characters, fun gameplay. Watch Dogs Legion is 95% drones and a bunch of disposable characters. It sucked. It really did. Okay. Thank you, Rob, for the tip. Actually, we got some more contributions now over on YouTube. Hold on a second here. I gotta refresh my queue here. Refresh this. Okay, so Little Crow Gaming has done a super chat. Actually did 2 super chats. So first of all, let me get them on the leaderboard, and then I'm going to read their comment here. Little Crow Gaming. Oh my god, this is so hard to spell. 0 WXX. Wow. Okay. So this is super chat. They say, any chance for a League of Legends playthrough when it comes to gaming platforms and systems in 2022 consoles? I don't know. I mean, I would lend that question. I would pass that one off to my viewing audience, right? And I would say, what do you guys think? Do you really think there's any benefit to seeing me try to jump into League of Legends this long into the game's life cycle? To give you guys some perspective, I only played League of Legends once. You want to know when I played it? When I first got this PC that I run every day to stream, all right? In 2014, 7 years ago, I played League of Legends on it just to run it and see how it would run on that PC. Okay? 7 years ago, I played it, and then I never played it again. Right? So, I don't know. So, a lot of people in stream chat are saying, no, don't bother. Some are saying, oh, it would be good for salt. It would be good for salt purposes. Well, I don't necessarily know if that's really what I want to do. Am I really want to purposely play a game where I'm going to probably suck ass, fail, rage, and get destroyed in? Because people probably argue we've been playing this game for a very long time. What I would argue is that it's probably going to be the same as back in the day when I would play StarCraft, okay? When I would play StarCraft, what you would do is you would have these builds or strategies that early game, if you're playing a noob who doesn't really know how to properly defend early game, you win instantly. You could either Zerg Rush, or you could do, with the Protoss, you could do this rush with, I forget which units it was. I forget particularly which unit it was, but the Protoss had really high shields and high damage output. They were kind of like tank characters. So if you rushed all your resources to making a certain unit right away and rushed in, if someone was not playing wisely and didn't have the defenses set up yet, you were fucked. There was like no way to survive. I would almost guarantee you guys that if I tried to play League of Legends, I would get stomped into paste. Because these people have been playing the game for a decade, right? Well, Ellipsian just said something. He says there's a new League of Legends game coming out that's a turn-based RPG. Maybe that's what he's talking about? I don't know. It seems to me like this person was just saying regular League of Legends. If there's a totally new League of Legends game that's set in that universe but is a totally new kind of game, I would consider doing that. I don't know if I want to jump into original League of Legends after a decade. That's probably a bad choice. Okay, I just got another super chat from Jake Lasso who says, am I going to be streaming in 1440p now with a new laptop? No, as I've explained, this laptop is not going to be for streaming. This laptop is not going to be for gaming. The only thing I use my laptop for is to monitor stream chat and talk with you guys and to monitor contributions. That is it. Okay, that's it. That's what the laptop will be used for. It's going to sit here right here on my laptop desk in front of me, and that's what it's going to be used for. Now, if this laptop runs well, which it probably will be considering it's going to be a new laptop, then I might tweet from it, and I might do a few small minor additional things from it. But it will not be anything in regards to controlling the streams. All my streams are controlled on my PC. OBS runs on my desktop PC, and my PC is the one that has this external capture device, and it takes in the audio and video from my capture device and encodes it through OBS, and that's how everything's done. Nothing will be going through the laptop. Okay? Parasolo just did a super chat. He says, if Red Dead 2 gets an FPS boost, will I play it again? No. Red Dead 2 is a game that's incredibly long and has a really good narrative. Alright? But the gameplay of the game is kind of tedious and boring, and quite frankly, kind of just feels like you're filling in the blanks between narrative parts of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, Red Dead 2 likely is better as a fucking movie than it is as a game. The gameplay isn't very good. Like, I didn't really enjoy the gameplay elements of the game at all. What I loved was the story of Arthur Morgan. I thought it was one of the most beautifully told stories in gaming of the last maybe 10 years. I really enjoyed going along for that journey to see him develop as a person and a character over the course of the game. But the gameplay, it was kind of like on-rails movie. You know what I mean? Like, there was nothing challenging. There was nothing exciting. It was just get to the next story development. And so, I've already seen the story. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to replay that game. I remember the story very well, because it was such a memorable one. I have zero desire to go back and replay that game. Maybe if the gameplay elements were fun, you know, I would go back and play it again. I have literally zero desire to ever play Red Dead 2 again. Yeah. Okay. I just received another $1.30 tip from Rob Matthews. He says, Far Cry 6 is make or break. Yeah, I don't know. Far Cry 6 coming out next year. And I don't know. I honestly, you know, first of all, at least on next-gen consoles, hopefully it'll be an advancement from the previous Far Cries when it comes to performance-wise, right? But will it be the same game again? You know, will it literally be the same fucking formula, the same game again? Or will it have enough to differentiate it from the previous outings to make it feel like something fresh and original? And yeah, it's another one of these franchises that you know Ubisoft is banking on that making money, and they need it to make money. You know, Watch Dogs Legion flopped. It did not do anywhere near as well as they wanted it to do, okay? So, I guess we'll see. But I kind of agree with you, like, they've had a bunch of fails. Valhalla was good for them. Valhalla sold really well, okay? So, Assassin's Creed Valhalla was a hit. And, Immortals Phoenix Rising, I think what they said is that it actually sold better than they thought it would. Even though they didn't have high hopes for it. Apparently, it did do pretty good. But Watch Dogs Legion was like a ginormous flop. Huge compared to what they wanted and the amount of money and time they put into it. It didn't perform well at all. I don't know. So I guess we'll see. I tell you, they got to be banking on it. Because what else do they have coming out in the near future besides X Defiance? Right? So they're probably definitely, you know, they're considering this being a big one for them. All right. Well, guys, I'm taking a look. It looks like that's about it for contributions. We have no further tips to shout out. No further super chats. So I guess what we'll do is we'll take the break. Remember, I take a break around now. I use the restroom and get ready and take a few minutes. You guys grab a drink, grab a snack, use the restroom yourselves. I've been checking, and no, the laptop has not arrived yet. I've been checking it. I've been tracking it. It's not arrived yet. When it does arrive, like I said, I'll let you guys know, and then we could do a live unboxing. But it's not here yet. It's scheduled for you know, for now. It could come any minute. Literally, it could show up any minute. But it's not here yet. It basically says out for delivery. So I will let you guys know when it shows up. But, alright. So, guys, let's take a small break. Grab a drink, grab a snack, use the restroom yourselves, whatever you need to do. I'll be using the restroom. And then when we come back, it's Skyward Sword HD. We're going to continue to explore around Skyloft, look for side content stuff, and then we're going to head down to the second world or second area, which I don't remember what it is, if it's the desert or if it's something else, and go from there. Okay, guys? Sound good? And again, guys, in advance, thank you, please, today. I need as many tips as possible. I really need, if we can hit these tips goals today, it would be tremendous to pay the back taxes for tomorrow. So please, if we can, please contribute with a tip if you can, and thank you for the support in advance. All right, break time. I'll see you guys in a few.